Hitting the ball on turf is a skill we all want to do consistently, and if I'm honest, I need to take more divot off the golf ball. Even though I hit down on the golf ball and I strike the ball good enough, I would like to have that kind of real pressured strike and have that divot go flying off the golf ball. Now when I teach most players, we don't get that divot off the ball. We get the divot around the ball or before the ball when we're really not in a good place. So today I want to share with you the real reasons why that happens and also what we need to do to ensure that ball and turf contact every time. So what we're looking at with a, say, typical mid-iron is we're looking to hit down on the golf ball about 4 degrees, which means this club is descending and our low point should be somewhere around about our lead armpit, so just inside our lead foot, if you like. That's where the low point of the swing should be, and then basically the ball would be hit before that. So with a 7-iron, generally the ball would be in the centre of the shaft for those people who have the movable ball position, so the low point would be up here, so we'd be hitting the ball, then going into the ground, and then continuing to go into the ground for a little bit longer. So about 3 to 4 inches past the golf ball is where the lowest point should be. Now, if we're not doing that, it can be caused by a few things. One of the things can be we're not getting forward enough laterally with our whole body. One could be that we're not getting our wrists into that flex state and that shaft lean to produce that kind of club that's descending. And 3, we obviously can be lagging the club the wrong way, casting the club, if you like, as opposed to lagging it. So what we tend to see with a lot of golfers is they tend to be a little bit the weight moving back and the body standing up, so the radius of the club comes off the ground, so then we're not able to strike the ball correctly, even if we are hitting down on the golf ball. If we look at my swing, and I use the Swing Coach app, here to help me look at my golf swing, even though I'm pretty aware of what I do, but this app is unreal. I placed it face on, hit some shots, and it said to me that my lead shoulder was too far back at contact. That's the big thing I saw from it. I looked at my shaft lean, I had some present, perhaps not as much as I'd want to compared to a tour player. I'm about 5 degrees compared to a tour player's about 11 degrees, but the big thing was that my shoulder wasn't forward enough. Now the key thing I wanted to do from a golf perspective is I don't want the shoulder to be ahead of the hip. That's going to give you incorrect path and issues in terms of coming over the top. So what we want to do from the top of the swing is feel that the lower half would move laterally, followed by the upper half moving laterally, and this shoulder is going to kind of move down and forward initially before then it moves up and round. So in my swing's case, the shoulder wasn't moving forward and down enough, and in the backswing my head was a little bit too moving off the ball and a little too high, so the radius of the swing is a bit high, and also the shoulder wasn't returning far enough forward. Now those two things combined meant that my club bottom is off the ground, but also it's not forward enough to create that ball and turf contact. So what I'm going to do now is set up with some alignment sticks here, just as a few little pointers to try and help me focus on those things in my swing. So if I take my setup now with a 7-iron, I've got this rod in the center of my stance and the ball in the center, and I've got a rod just outside my left foot, about 1 club head width. Now the goal is to try and feel that when I'm swinging down, I'm trying to get my lead hip to this outside rod, and I'm trying to get my lead shoulder at the point of contact to be somewhere around about my lead foot. In terms of the backswing, to just work on that a little bit as well subtly, I'm trying to feel like I stay a little bit more centered and I feel like I tilt a little bit more, and that helps me get the radius of my swing right. I know from looking at my swing, my lag element as I start down is good, so I don't need to worry about that. I do throw it a bit, but I'm throwing it a bit generally because my body's back and not forward enough. So if I can get my body forward, then I should start to get more pure contacts that we're looking for. So using the app will help you decipher what part of the swing you need to work on to help you with what elements you want to change in your golf swing. For me, it's that ball and turf contact, and when I teach people, contact, consistency and pressure on the golf ball is something that comes up a lot. So I thought this would really resonate with a lot of you golfers out there. So we're really going to try now and feel that we shift that way in my downswing, but trying to make sure always that the upper body's behind the lower body. So again, we can go and stamp and shift to feel it in that sequence, but I'm just really trying to feel, can I get my lower and upper body working better in the downswing? And that one there, I got a great bit of divot there just after the golf ball. Really like that. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So let's just confirm everything we've said there. So the keys to getting ball and turf contact is we need to be hitting down on the golf ball, we need to be transporting that club forward, in my case through my lead shoulder, but also making sure the hips move that lateral. So in the downswing, these hips should be moving about 6 inches laterally as we start down, and then the shoulder should fall in behind it. And then once we've got the shoulder moved forward, as we get down to this last bit of delivery position, then the shoulder will start to work up as I extend, and then the club unloads and throws itself towards target. The other elements we'd want to look at is, again, from a radius perspective, are we staying tilted as we turned, moving a rib cage down, that gets the radius nice and low, and then we start to push up off the ground. So the last bit that we haven't mentioned there would be the lag element, and that's really how we control this wrist angle as we come down. Now this is always unloading, but the key is we never consciously try and unload it. So we're trying to feel like our thumbs point up, keep our thumbs pointing up as the club goes down as we move laterally with our body units. Now, if we're moving laterally and rotating, we haven't mentioned rotation at all, the lag should take care of itself. But when we have the intent to hit the ball towards a target, the rotation tends to happen for free. So let's just go through that again. Take our setup, swing back, slide, shoulder, unload. Again, a nice meaty divot there is exactly what I'm looking for, getting that radius control right and getting the low point in the right spot to make great contact. Have a go using the app to